In the words of William Mackenzie from The In-Betweeners, well, that was fucking dreadful. Liverpool 4, Chelsea 1. Absolutely clapped, clarted, cut, chopped, cooked, fried, diced, flipped, marinated, incarcerated. Bruv, we got absolutely disrespected, destroyed, discombobulated, bruv. We lost 4-1, and I'll tell you now, we should have lost 6 or 7. They were polite. They were actually polite. They had their table manners. Knife, fork, spoon, dessert spoon, soup spoon, plate, cutlery, everything on the table. Like, they actually were very nice to us tonight. We should have been battered by far more than what we got. So, if anything, I thank Liverpool. I thank Liverpool and Petrovic for missing some of their chances that they should have scored, and for him making saves that he probably shouldn't have. The penalty is the equaliser in the world, because it should never have been a penalty for Nunes. Jota's foul is so light and soft, but you set a precedent when you give that foul for a penalty, and that means we should have got one of ours. In my world, I don't give anybody a penalty because I think they're all soft. But if you're going to give Jota his and Nunes the opportunity to take that spot kick, then you've got to give us one. However, that's where it all ends. And that's why I'm getting it out the way early doors, because what we're not going to do is pretend like some refereeing decisions cloud these statistics. 28 shots to 4. We had 1 shot in the first half, and it was blocked, I believe. 13 shots on target for Liverpool to 3. So we ain't going to pretend that a couple of calls overshadowing, or that we were robbed, or no, we weren't robbed. Tonight, we said we were going to come to the party and we were going to try and put a stop to it. We were going to be the party poopers. Well, I'm here to tell you, we baked the cake. We baked the cake. We blew up the balloons. We helped surprise Klopp. We walked him in through the doors. We said, shh, everybody, shh. And then everybody took their positions. Nunes, Diaz, Jota, Szoboszlai, Bradley, Van Dijk, Konate. Everybody hid behind. And then as soon as Klopp came out, everyone's, hey, surprise. Fuck me, we got absolutely destroyed, guys. I mean, I don't even know where to start, because what I will start with is the team. And we have to hold ourselves accountable as fans, because some fans were saying the setup was wrong in terms of the team selection or whatever. We can't move the goalposts when we're losing and say, oh, right, we should have done this. Like, we would have picked the same team. If we said before the game that team was good enough, we got to stick by that. Now, I'm going to do that because I said that team, when the team we put out was good enough. In my opinion, that was the best team we could put out. I would not have put Breuer out there from the beginning. I think Breuer or Washington, Denzel, Curry, whoever, would have been absolutely destroyed by Van Dijk and Konate. Let's not make no noise about it. These strikers on the bench would have been absolutely destroyed by those two centre-backs. 2 of the best centre-backs in the Premier League. They eat up the pitch for fun. They are strong, they are quick, they are great aerially. They are honestly the perfect centre-back combination. They have not got weaknesses in their game. When they're at it, at their peak, which they are right now, and they're performing, there's no weaknesses in either of their games. They're good on the ball, they're quick, they can play the high line, they defend the wide areas, like just perfect. Absolute perfection. So centre-backs up against our strikers is a mismatch. So we had to play the false 9. We had to play the players that will drop in between the lines, connect the dots, try to create more chances, rare-tear-tear. We know Van Dijk will struggle more against a Gabriel Jesus than he would against a Hairline, funnily enough. More for a Havertz than a Lukaku. We've seen this story a million times. So I understood that. We also knew that Gusto and Cuckoo, Carney, these guys had to be on the bench. We knew Jackson was still in Senegal. So we knew the team. We knew the team. So let's not talk about team selection, because the team was the team. Well, let's not even talk about substitutions, because the substitutions were made on 45 minutes. He brought on 3 changes. Mudryk came on and Cuckoo came on, scored. He was our best finisher on the bench, probably just in the squad. So it makes sense for him to go up front instead of a Breuer or a Washington, who's probably not going to even create the opportunity that he scored, let alone score it. And also on came Gusto. So And, you know, so the subs are fine. He's acting early. He's being on it. But you have to take responsibility as a manager when your team come out and shit their pants. And when they come out and they are not competitive for, I kid you not, 85 out of 95 of those minutes. You have to take some responsibility. I don't want to hear excuses about penalties or any of that. I'm not saying that Pochettino is all to blame, because he's definitely not all to blame. But just because we were so shit today for the match, you just have to take responsibility as a manager. By default, you have to. Because you can't be that bad for 85 out of the 95 minutes. You can't have one shot on target in the first half. You have to have more in your game than that. I thought the build-up play in terms of the midfield structure was really poor tonight. That's on the manager. Caicedo was left to die so often of the time. Him and Petrovic are the only two players I felt for tonight. Caicedo was booked early, right? I'm going to start cussing some individuals in a minute, don't worry. Caicedo was booked early. He wasn't deserving of that booking. He won the ball. It shouldn't have even been a foul. But then for him to pick up the yellow card, he's now on a booking for the rest of the game. So he has to tread carefully. Enzo next to him's on a booking. The two fullbacks are on bookings, I saw as well. And Petrovic made great saves. I thought he was great again, right? He really tried his best. The goals that went in, he couldn't stop. Jota's close quarters. Szoboszlai's close quarters, right? He saved shots onto the post. He made big saves, etc. So no problem on those two. But I'm afraid to tell you that everybody else that started that game, I'll get to the subs later, everybody else that started that game, you were absolutely awful. You shit yourself. You shit yourself in the middle of Anfield, in the middle of Liverpool. You took a dump. Now, the first goal, because I'm going to go through these goal by goal. I'm sorry to potentially traumatize you, but that's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm just on my pad. I have to get these goals. I'm not even playing around. I'm going through these goals one by one. The Jota goal, the first one, Caicedo tonight had a lot of pressure, right? In terms of receiving the ball in tight spaces, usually isolated on his own with two people pressing him, sometimes maybe even three. Off the ball, the same type of issue. They were running through us. He was on his own so often, trying to cover and put out fires. So I really felt for him. He actually gets out of the tough situation. He passes it to Chilwell, who is in space, who is not being pressed. And this brother decides, I'm going to take the heaviest of touches and just dispossess myself, and then we're open. And then they're cutting through us. And Silva and Badiashile turn into Casper the Ghost. These brothers become invisible. Jota runs through them. He runs through them. Honest to God, it was a scene from one of the Harry Potter movies where brother is just, he is just invisible. He's just doing whatever he wants. Like, Jota is now moving like a mythical creature. You lot have had the opportunity to block him off with your body, get a leg in, get a foot in, anything, and you just let him through. You've said, right this way, sir. Welcome to our restaurant. Wonderful meals. And then obviously he slots in. So that's a disgrace from 3 of the back 4. Just off rip. Chilwell tonight was absolutely horrendous. I was very close when he came back to saying, I'm not excited because I don't feel like, yes, first of all, he needs to be used correctly, which thankfully he's at left back and not left wing. But I'm not convinced that the left back position long term is solved. I've said that before. I think very often people group Chilwell in with James, as people have grouped McTominay with Fred, Kovacic with Jorginho. Some people come in pairs. I don't believe Chilwell is anywhere near the level of Reece James. He's just not. So when we talk about Chilwell, we talk about obviously fitness and, you know, being constantly, consistently on the pitch and available, which he's not. But I also talk about quality. He was crap tonight. So that left-back position is up for grabs. Both of those left-backs, Cucurella and Chilwell, on stupid money. In my opinion, neither of them have shown to be worth that at this point. Prior to Chilwell's injuries, maybe he was, but after the injuries, he hasn't been, and he's been injured so often that, you know, we have to talk about value here. That left-back position is a question mark. So we'll see how he plays for the rest of the season, but I'm not happy with that position. And Badiashile, this game was absolutely horrendous. Silva was poor in that goal. Badiashile was poor in other goals also. Just shocking. Just defensively, just shocking tonight. Honestly, just really, really, really shit. Now, Conor Bradley had the freedom of the right-hand side, and I've noticed this happen constantly throughout the game. The amount of space out wide when Liverpool switch play was insane. Just so much space. Bradley had a goal and an assist tonight. And this is their kid. This is their academy product. And he was out there, just the freedom of the world on that right-hand side to just slot in that second. And obviously it comes from Caicedo's heavy touch in the midfield, because he was never going to be 100 for 100 in terms of receiving the ball and passing. You know, he was going to have an error in there when he was isolated on his own. He did, and that was the moment. The forward players, we go into half time, right? We've not had a single shot, let's be honest. The one shot we did have, I don't know what came of it. I think it was blocked. Like I said, we've not laid a glove on Liverpool. From minute 0 to minute 45, absolutely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. They're faster than us, they're stronger than us, they're quicker than us to the second balls, they're attacking, they're relentless. We don't even have a spell where I can say that we've kept the ball and strung together some passes. Forget attacks. We've just been absolutely destroyed. Every time the ball went into that front four, whether it was Palmer, Gallagher, Madueke or Sterling, turnover. This ball was never in their grasp once. Everybody in that front four, hang your head in shame tonight. You contributed nothing. Palmer tonight, way off it. Gallagher, I don't even want to check your statistics, because if I do, I will cry. Sterling, Madueke, as wingers, my brothers, you have contributed sweet fuck all against fullbacks that, let's be honest, are Liverpool's backup options. Gomez is obviously versus Madueke, probably a closer battle when Gomez had a great season. Sterling, you're up against a child. He's even been brilliant this season as well, but come on now. Sterling, you got to be doing something. We were poor. Front four, all of them, just give them X's everywhere, because they just didn't give us nothing. They didn't give us anything. When you play that front four, you're not asking for long balls up front. You're not expecting physicality up against those defenders. What you are expecting is good movement and retention and some sort of combination. Didn't have it. When we did get in behind Liverpool, we wasted opportunities. So nothing to write home there. Defenders, like I said, were all over the place. Second half, we come out, we make the 3 changes. Fair play to Poch on making such drastic changes, because like I said, I can't get onto you for the starting 11 because I don't believe that anything else could have been changed, or I'm not going to do revisionism and say, oh, we should have done this because we didn't perform, because that's just not how it works. Like you need to actually have that idea before the game kicks off, or you're just moving goalposts. He made 3 changes, and for 10 minutes, maybe 7, 8, we actually looked more aggressive, we actually looked more attacking, we actually looked more threatening. And that opportunity for Mudryk from Gusto's pass, you got to put that on target, bare minimum, and make Alisson do something, make some sort of save. You don't do that. You sky it. From that minute to Nkuku's goal, we're cooking up something potentially. We're competitive. We're in the game. But after that, we're anonymous again. You know, we're anonymous again. I mean, we went 3-0 down in between this with Szoboszlai. And, you know, at that point, you're thinking it's wraps, and it is wraps. We get a consolation. And then, honest to God, last 15 minutes of that match, we're just going through the motions. We're done. Liverpool are at their utmost confident. They're just bopping it about. 1-2s, popping it, giving it, going it. Bruv, we're just getting destroyed everywhere, all over the place. They get their 4th. Like I said, this should have been 6, 7. We just didn't compete. We shit ourselves. We went to Anfield and we shit ourselves. And the manager, in terms of the structure, I can definitely look at him and say, I want more. However, I do think the individuals today cost us with their mistakes. I do think that the forwards, they just didn't turn up. Cole Palmer tonight was just poor. I do believe sometimes in areas out wide, we don't have enough options to combine as well. Gallagher, Palmer, could they got closer to their wingers, but then there's nobody in the box. We need a striker. We didn't get one in January. We're interested in Duran. It's also a board thing as well. Not to say that, listen, tonight the board, you know, I mean, listen, actually, yes, I'm going to say tonight the board could have helped us because we could have had a striker out on that pitch. And I said in January how important it is to get a striker. We don't get a striker. We don't take that seriously enough. Listen, we keep getting linked with children. How can you get linked with children when you go to Anfield and you think that more kids are going to help situations like that? You need experience and you need quality. You need quality around these youngsters. We don't have enough of it. So, but we got absolutely blamed and we should never be getting destroyed like that. I'm sorry. And the manager has to take some responsibility for that. But I do believe that everyone's got to take some blame on that. I'm not going to just say the manager. I'm going to say that the players really did absolutely shit it tonight. They really did shit the bed. So many individual errors, man. So many individual errors. But Liverpool, they're top of the league, and we can see why. We just couldn't compete with them. They're a well-oiled machine, and they have consistency in what they're trying to do, and they just absolutely executed it to the highest level. And I'm not going to lie, did I think we was going to get much out of their centre-backs? No. Did I think we would stop their strikers or forwards from scoring? No. But did I at least expect us to play better and compete? Yes, we'd probably lose because they're favourites for a reason. But can we at least compete? Can we knock it about a bit? Can we create some chances? We won't take them. But can we create some chances up against secondary fullbacks? Can we keep the ball with Enzo and Caicedo? This is why I say the midfield structure for me needs to be better. I want to see Enzo a lot closer to Caicedo. Enzo was poor. Enzo was not good enough today. I'm not going to say that Enzo gets a pass just because I don't think he's played in the perfect role for him. No. You are a top footballer. You have to perform on the big stages. And you didn't tonight. You were poor. Caicedo gets a more of a pass. But in the build-up, just too much isolation. People are not close enough. So we weren't able to string things together. But Liverpool's press is ridiculous. So you can't just expect, even if you're De Zerbi, people talk about systems, right? Even if you're Brighton and De Zerbi, you're not playing out of Liverpool's press. A lot of the time, you're going to get turned over. So you need to have another option. You need to be able to go long. You need to be able to play it into the channels. You need to be able to do things in a variety of ways at Anfield. Coming to Anfield, even, and this is where I'm really going to get onto the system people right now. Even when Manchester City come to Anfield and Pep comes to Anfield, they change their game. Nobody comes to Liverpool, especially in their current mood, but nobody comes to Liverpool anyway, a team that are ridiculous at the moment at home. Nobody comes to Liverpool and plays out from the back unless they're absolutely stupid and dense in the head. You have to have physicality. You have to have another option in terms of going long or, you know what I'm saying, playing on the break. You can't come to Liverpool and outplay them or play through them. Their press is too good. Pep changes his game for this game. So don't come here naively thinking that you can play out. Maybe that's the one thing I'll say as fans or maybe as myself, that we were a bit naive in thinking if we could come here and maybe play a 4. Maybe we should have come here and played a 3 and played wing backs and played an actual 5 and just played on the break. That's the one thing one tactic I can look to today, even in reflection on myself, and say, do you know what? We should have actually probably come here and played a back 3 with Badiashile, Silva, Disassi, even though Badiashile was absolute toilet today. Played Chilwell as a wing back. He might have been more comfortable, and just gone 3-4-3 as we used to do under Tuchel, etc. in those big games and soak up some pressure and hit them on the break. Maybe that's what we should have done. Or under Conte, we did it as well at the Etihad, 2-1 win. Maybe we should have done that, 3-1 win actually. Maybe we should have done that. Let me know in the comments down below if you think that would have helped. Because when we criticize the manager on nights like this because we got battered, yes, I get it. Let's also have solutions as to what we should have done or what the setup should have been. Let's not just say, oh, there was no patterns. What do you mean by that? Be specific. What pattern do you want to see? We got out wide a few times. We were shit in that. I think the midfield was bad. But like I said, we got out wide. We did nothing with it. But what setup did you actually want to see? I think maybe that setup could have been better. But we have to chalk this one off. I can't lie. It was Liverpool away. It was shocking, don't get me wrong. I've seen better Chelsea teams get battered away from home in big stadiums. It's not a new feeling. It's something that's rare when we used to be good. But it's not new. I've seen great Chelsea teams go to Old Trafford in their peak and lose 3-0. So let's not pretend like this can't happen in a season. It can, even to the best teams. However, which we're not. However, this can't happen again. This can't happen again anytime soon. That's enough. I've had one night is enough. And more importantly, do not let this affect you going into the next game against Wolves. You need to bounce back immediately. You've been on a good run in terms of results. You've been in a good run in terms of at home. You've been winning the majority of your games with blips with Wolves and Middlesbrough. But the majority you're winning. And you're expected to. Do not let this game define the next few games because that's when we're going to have a problem. You got Wolves next. You got a Villa team that just lost at home to Newcastle in the Cup. You got Palace. And then we got City, which is peak, and then Tottenham at home, which I'm sorry is that you have to win. So we're gonna chalk this one. But I'm not really in the business of watching my team get absolutely blamed to Liverpool like that again. Because honestly, that was insufferable. The last 20 minutes, I honestly would have just ended the stream if I could have. So yeah, I think I've covered everything, guys. Guys that came off the bench, Mudryk. In Cuckoo, fantastic goal. Going up against those centre-backs is absolutely peak. But Mudryk and, yeah, Carney obviously got the assist. So those two players there, that's what we want to see. We need them to be fit. These are the two players that can really actually change the team. But Gusto started off well. Mudryk, whatever. Doesn't surprise me. Not going to change things. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Long review, but I guess I've covered it all. Big up your damn selves in a bit, people. Peace.